70. She just can do so many electric things with that softball. A good rise ball at the top of the zone, a good drop ball the lower half of the zone. Oh, yes, and she can mix speeds. How about an ERA below 1? She just has so many tools and gifts in that circle play.
This is the best pitching staff in the country. Pickens, the two-time All-American, leads the way. And even though she's coming back from injury, says she's 100%. We'll see how she responds here today. Now, Florida only had 6 hits yesterday, but they were timely and 2 left the yard.
This is a juggernaut of an offense. They know how to get it done. How about 70 home runs on the year? Team batting average over 390. They are tops in batting average, runs scored, home runs, slugging percentage. They do it a lot of different ways. Taylor Shoemaker, Jocelyn Erickson at the top of the lineup have been so good. But look at those numbers. Over 9 runs a game this offense for Florida is averaging.
Keegan Rothrock is going to get the start in the circle today for Florida. And despite Friday's loss, leading the nation in wins with 16, and that actually matches her win total from 2025. She actually pitched well on Friday. 1 bad inning, gave up a couple of runs in the 5th, did walk 5 in her 6 innings of work. We'll see what kind of control she has today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be the free passes. If she can limit those and make Tennessee basically go station to station, keep the ball in the yard. Rothrock is one of the toughest pitchers to score against.
Sophia Knight in the batter's box as Tennessee is in the baby blues today, and we're underway. And the first pitch is a strike. Tennessee batting order for Karen Weekly looks like this. After Knight, it'll be Ella Dodge, 1 and 2 at the top of the order. Very good. There's Elsa Morrison in the 5 spot. She is behind the plate today, having a very good series. It's a 309 team batting average for Tennessee, Michelle, and only 8 hits in the series, 4 in each game. They're going to look to try and generate more offense today, that's for sure. This one is slapped at, scooped nicely by Gabby Comia, the second baseman, and there's 1 down.
It's a great play by Comia, and Rothrock does use that defense behind it because she does have that good drop ball at the lower half of the zone, but it's the rise ball. That's the swing and miss pitch. She has really good location of the screwball on the outer half to lefties. She'll ride that underneath the hands of the righties. She'll mix speeds, and that will also be a key. And also, we've talked about this with Rothrock, keeping the ball in the yard. She has given up 10 home runs this year. So that rise ball, she needs to make sure that she's using that at multiple levels, using that off speed effectively, and varying those speeds between 59 and 72 miles an hour.
And sails outside to Ella Dodge. Dodge has been excellent in the 2-hole for Tennessee this year. Florida native out of Bradenton. 2 for 4 and a run batted in with a double on Friday. 0 for 2 yesterday. They generate most of their offense from their players at the top of the order, and look no further than Dodge.
Yes.
She has been on base in 39 straight games going back to last season.
Yeah, she is so good in that 2-hole. Plays a great second base, but just brings the energy.
Chopped, and this is going to be off the front foot of Dodge. The Hall of Famer Karen Weekly, 25 years now in Knoxville, almost 1,400 career wins over the past 3 decades.
Yeah, just so much knowledge. Players coach. He knows how to motivate her team and get them in shape, mentally and physically.
Well, and we were down on the field talking to her before the game, Michelle, about that 26-game winning streak that they had to start the year. She knew they had a target on their back for a long time, but she said that the team never felt the weight of that.
Which is impressive. That's, kudos to the coaching staff.
3-2, lifted in the air, short left field, and McClellan is going to range over to her left and make the catch. Cassidy McClellan in the outfield today, with Townsend Thomas in center and Taylor Shoemaker. This Florida defense, very good, and especially the outfield. A lot of speed out there. They cover a lot of ground. And there's Tim Walton, now in his 21st season, also a Hall of Famer. And he had to be pleased, even though yesterday Florida didn't have a ton of base hits. They produced enough to even this series at a game apiece. Here's Gabby Leach now. Right fielder for Tennessee, 0 for 5 in the series, but her walk Friday turned into the game-winning run.
Well, that's the key. You got to be able to earn your way on base and then let your teammates knock in, and that is what Tennessee is going to have to really work on in this game against Rothrock. Seeing her now, second game, she threw 6 innings in game 1, is the consecutiveness, being able to get someone on base, productive outs, and then really hit situationally.
2 balls and a strike from Leach. And now 3-1.
And Gabby Leach is so good at understanding the strike zone, working herself into good leverage counts, which she's in right here at 3-1.
Rothrock's 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed, and it's a full count. You know, Rothrock missed 5 weeks last year because of health issues. I think the health is getting close to what we saw from her in 2024. She's certainly starting to pitch well.
Yeah, she is on point, really good rise ball.
The payoff. This is lined into right, and it's going to get past a diving Comia for a base hit. First hit of the ball game for Tennessee comes from Gabby Leach with 2 outs.
Leach is just going to get enough of this pitch, so it's a a low rise ball, and it's a little bit of a jam job, but the way Leach is able to get around this, gets it onto the green, getting it past Comey, a nice effort by the second baseman, almost comes up with that.
Gators! 2 outs. Base runner for Emma Clark, the Tennessee first baseman, power hitter. 0 for 4 with a pair of walks in the series. Just a sophomore, but one of the team leaders, no doubt about it. Rothrock rocks and fires. 1-0, foul back. Tennessee, the unanimous #1 team coming into the weekend, started 26-0 as we talked about before that 1-0 loss of Mississippi State last Saturday. Now 28-2 after yesterday's setback. I mean, everywhere you go in the SEC, it's
a battle.
It is going to be tough.
When you look at the top 10 RPI, and 6 teams from the SEC fill those 10 spots, and it just shows you the strength of this conference. Game in and game out.
Leach at first. 1-2 pitch. And Clark lays off. Clark is versatile. She's at first today, but also plays some third and catches. 5 homers on the year for Clark. 2-2. Another foul ball.
Tennessee doing a good job of hunting that rise ball at the top of the zone, fouling it off, trying to catch up to it.
Called strike 3. First strikeout for Rothrock. Leach is stranded. We've played a half, and now Florida coming up for the first time.
Keegan Rothrock showing why she is one of the top pitchers in the country. She will use all aspects of the zone. A nice pitch underneath the hands for the strikeout.
I'm Pickens, pitcher for the University of Tennessee. My rookie season, I was SEC Freshman of the Year. Then I was back-to-back SEC Pitcher of the Year and a 2-time All-American. Today, I'm in the circle for the Lady Vols.
Carlin Pickens, 7-1 with a 0.97 ERA. 3 innings saved Friday, took her first loss of the year yesterday. We'll see how personally she took that loss, because you know she's going to want to come back with a vengeance today.
Absolutely. The ERA below 1, the whip below 1. I mean, just so many tools. It's the velocity, it's the late sharp movement, and you're right, it's the fire, being in that circle, wanting the ball, wanting to compete. Just a great all-around athlete.
Florida's head coach Tim Walton says Carlin Pickens, she's in a category by herself. When we talked to Tim this week, they've got 6 or 7 pitching machines. They had them all working at once to get ready for Pickens. They had them amped up as high as they would go.
Absolutely. And it is Pickens. You know, she headlines this really good Tennessee staff, but it's also Sage Marjeko, Aaron Newer. I mean, this is a Tennessee team that knows how to pitch the ball underhand.
And Taylor Shoemaker at the plate. She knows how to hit. The National Freshman of the Year in 2025 leads it off, followed by Erickson, Cahalan, Grover, Thomas, Walker, and McClellan. Back-to-back homers yesterday. Both of them off of Carlin Pickens. One almost went onto the street in right field.
It's not very often you'll say back-to-back home run with Pickens in the circle.
It's such a good offense. The number 2 team batting average in the country at 393. But only 10 hits in the series. I'm sure they'd like to generate a little more offense. This is hit high. This is hit deep. Forget it. Goodbye home run. Taylor Shoemaker. 13th home run of the year, and they get to Pickens early again.
Wow. 71st home run of the year for this Gator offense. And Shoemaker in that leadoff spot. It's her 13th home run of the year. This is a rise ball, and she just gets underneath of it and takes it out of the yard. She elevates this, so it's up at her shoulders, but the angle at which she barrels this up, the exit velocity off of the bat, that's the deepest part of the field at over 220 feet. That's the 5th home run of the year. Pickens has given up 3 in the last 2 days.
Taylor Shoemaker. Everyone wondering what she can do for an encore after that amazing freshman year. And we are seeing it. And look at Pickens, the first 52 2/3, just 2 homers allowed. The last couple of days, she has been hit hard. And this caroms off her body into left field. Base hit for Jocelyn Erickson.
Well, right now, you can tell that this Florida team is doing nothing but sitting velocity. Pickens has not used her changeup that much in this series, and so they are sitting hard. They're sitting 70. As soon as they see that out of the hand, and you can see this goes off of her very hard. Looks like she's okay. Back-to-back hits to start off this game off of Carlin Pickens.
First hit of the weekend for Jocelyn Erickson. And now Kenley Cahalan, the Florida shortstop, 2 for 6 in the series. She's hitting over 400. 11 homers and 41 driven in. Drove in the Gators' only run on Friday. She had a leadoff homer in the 2nd inning against Sage Marjeko. And Michelle, we've seen it throughout the year when it comes to this Florida offense. When it gets going, it feeds on itself.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to stop this Gator offense once they're rolling. And they get themselves into leverage counts. And Tim Walton says, you know what, we're not patient, we're disciplined. We are going to attack early if we have the opportunity. But it's really about understanding what pitches they're hunting. They're one of the best in the country at doing that.
Sprayed right into the glove of the third baseman, Rutan, and a double play. Erickson trying to get back, can't, and that's exactly what Pickens needed. It's a soft liner to Rutan. It turns into a double play.
100%. That's the 8th double play of the year for Tennessee, and it's right to Rutan. Immediately knows she needs to get it over to Clark to double off Erickson at first. That's a big double play, helping out their pitcher in the circle.
So 2 outs for Kendall Grover, cleanup hitter. Playing 3rd again today. 330, 7 homers, 28 RBIs for the senior from Indiana. She carried a 5-game hitting streak into this series, but 0 for 5 in the first 2 games with a couple of walks. But a veteran transfer, also good power from the right-hand side. Spent the last 3 years at Eastern Illinois.
And that's the pitch that Pickens is going to have to be able to throw today, on the inner half, getting underneath the hands.
2-1 to Grover. And that is fouled off. So Tennessee forced to get the bullpen up and going early. Sage Margetko, who started game 1 and picked up the victory, is starting to get loose for Tennessee in case she's needed to be called on here early. Tried to hold up. She went around, and that's a strikeout. So Pickens gets out of the inning without any further damage, but a leadoff homer, in Florida has the early lead after 1.
Taylor Shoemaker is making runs. Pitch at the top of the zone. She bashes it out of the yard to give Florida the lead. That's her 13th home run of the year for the sophomore.
Well, last year in Oklahoma City, Tennessee won it going away. Carlin Pickens was her typical 2025 great self. Sophia Nugent left the yard. Boo Gibson hit a home run. And Florida kind of licking their wounds after that 11-3 defeat in Oklahoma City. But this series is even at a game apiece here on Sunday.
Great job by Florida yesterday to come back, pick up that win after losing 2-1 on a very tight game in game 1 on Friday night. You know this is going to be a battle. This is the best part of it. This is SEC softball, pitch in and pitch out.
Rothrock to face Elsa Morrison, Alana Leach, and Mackenzie Butt. 5, 6, and 7 for Tennessee. Elsa Morrison, 2 for 5 in the series, blasted a 2-run homer yesterday off Caitlin Oxley in the second, gave the Bulls a 2-0 lead, but that's all the offense Tennessee would have.
Morrison, such a great pickup for Tennessee, a freshman, strong behind the dish, also doing a good job hitting out of that 5-hole.
2023 Gatorade Player of the Year in Tennessee out of Knoxville's Farragut High School. That stays right on the corner for Rothrock, who got a strikeout of Emma Clark looking to end the first inning. Did give up a hit to Gabby Leach, but so far so good for Keegan Rothrock, the nation's leader in wins. 3-1 count. Took something off and fouled back. It's 3-2.
Rothrock has a lot of tools. She has that rise ball that she loves to throw underneath the hands of the righties, but that last pitch moving away from Morrison, so she'll do a little bit of a curve on the outer half that has some up, it has some out.
Struck her out. Back-to-back Ks going back to last inning. 1 down here in the Tennessee second.
Well, and this is when Rothrock is so strong. She'll come underneath the hands, and then the last 2 pitches on the outer half. That is a great curveball. You could see the tight spin and rotation on that. It's spin speed over pitch speed. Second strikeout of the game.
Now here's the other Leach sister, Alana Leach, in left field for Tennessee. Like her twin, incredibly strong as a corner outfielder. 4 homers, 10 runs batted in.
Leach family, not a great
They just keep
softball.
coming.
They do keep coming. Fun to watch.
We should mention about Rothrock, too. She did not pitch against Tennessee in the Women's College World Series last year. She had a blister on her pitching hand, so sat that one out. And you got to think that that certainly benefited Tennessee last year, not having to face this right-hander.
Oh, absolutely. You know, she's got the majority of the onus of the pitching on her back, with Ava Brown, the #2 pitcher, being out. But Rothrock has really done a good job, as you mentioned earlier, at the injury last year. She didn't have quite as many innings. She is back now. She is healthy. She takes ownership of that circle, and she has a lot of different tools that she's able to use.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It stays away, full count. to Alana Leach. Mackenzie Butt, the designated player, is on deck. One 0 Florida on a leadoff home run in the first inning by Taylor Shoemaker. Line drive into center field, and that's a base hit. Second hit for the Volunteers. And it comes from Alana Leach.
Yeah, that's a nice at-bat by Alana Leach, working herself into a good position, works Rothrock deep into the count and gets a pitch on the outer half that bleeds a little bit back over the heart of the plate. She doesn't try to do too much with this. She just smacks that right back up the middle. But this is where Tennessee needs to be a little more efficient. They have to make sure they have productive outs. They also have the ability to move their teammates up and the consecutiveness of following up hits with more hits. It's one area they have really not been able to gain any momentum in this series, scoring in just 2 of the 14 innings against Florida.
Mackenzie Butt getting the start today for Tennessee. Entered each of the first 2 games as a pinch hitter. She's 0 for 3 in the series. Swung on through. It's 0-2 as Rothrock is trying to do what she's doing right here with this Butt at bat. And that's work ahead. She's had 5 full counts and has had to work from behind a lot.
She has worked from behind a lot, working from ahead. She's got a lot of tools, but has been chasing that last pitch curveball out of the zone.
Off the end of the bat. Could be 2. And it is.
How about the defense for Florida? Their 9th double play of the year. Great job up the middle. Comia to Cahalan, over to Erickson at first. And Rothrock, of course, she's loving that defense behind her.
Florida leads game 3, 1-0. No surprise, they know how to get runs on the board. Started the season 21-0. Best start since 2016. And look at that, they are just pounding teams, winning by almost 8 runs per game on average. And then leading the country coming into this series in a ton of categories. Tim Walton, for a long time, he's been one of the best offensive minds in the country.
Absolutely, just a savant of understanding the strike zone, getting his team ready.
Slap, other way. Townsend Thomas, the reigning SEC Freshman of the Week. One pitch, puts it into left field.
They're so good, we don't even have time to talk about them. I mean, Townsend is that freshman who is really learning the game. She's speeding things up, pitch that's up, and she's not going to do too much with it. She just barrels it up. Right now, Pickens is supplying all the speed, all the velocity. Florida is just catching that ball with their barrel, shooting it into the outfield. Leadoff single for Townsend Thomas.
Florida's 3rd hit against the 2-time All-American. And Thomas, as Tim Walton says, she's starting to play as fast as she looks.
Yes.
Runner on for Madison Walker, the designated player. Back up the middle. This could be a double play. Faw steps on the bag, drives it into the mid of Emma Clark. And a 6-3 twin killing.
Oh, wow, and this is what you see when you have power pitchers in the circle. The defense gets to play back. You roll a ground ball back up the middle, and Bella Faw easily going to step on second, over to Emma Clark at first. And Carlin Pickens, she's loving the double play as well. 2nd of the game for Tennessee, their 9th of the year.
So 2 outs now for Cassidy McClellan. Was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts on Friday, but then 1 for 3 with a homer yesterday. Went back-to-back with Walker in the 3rd inning off Pickens. And McClellan almost put this one onto the road in right field.
Yeah. A lot of power, got all into that pitch. Was on time. And that's what you're seeing from Florida. They're not over-swinging. They're very silent, they're very quiet in their approach, and they're just catching up. And you could just see it, you could hear it off the bat, just how quick she was to that inner half. And so they are just sitting velocity all the way.
Now, Pickens is obviously understanding this as well, so it's all about location.
100% location and making sure that she's using the entire width of the plate, not sitting in one corner and that she is choosy at making sure she's got a little bit of down. That's a 3-1 count. That's a good drop ball in the outer half, but a better take by McClellan to make sure she gets that walk.
7th walk taken by Florida hitters in this series. I'll bring up Ella Wesolowski with 2 outs. Wesolowski getting the start behind the plate today. She was the starting catcher yesterday. 1 for 4 in the series. Junior out of New York, spent the last couple of years at Mississippi State. Another great addition for Tim Walton.
So many tools, great behind the dish. Over 300 out of the 8 spot. And just gaudy numbers for this lineup. For Florida, 1 through 9. They've got 4 400-plus batting average hitters in the lineup.
1-1 to Wesolowski. Ground ball outside of third. So Carlin Pickens, we talked about the arm strain earlier this month, missed 11 days. Pitched a complete game 1 hitter at Mississippi State a week ago today. And now gets another strikeout, her 2nd. So a leadoff hit for Thomas and a walk in the inning, but Pickens doing just fine, getting through the 2nd.
Yeah, rise ball at the upper half. She takes a little bit off it, picks up her 3rd strikeout of the game.
Best start for the Volunteers under Karen Weekly.
Well, and a lot of it is the pitching staff. That ERA as a staff below 1, the whip well below 1. That's one of the things you need. Opponent batting average against. There's just pretty incredible numbers. Leads Division I with 13 shutouts.
Maddie Rutan, Bella Faw, and the top of the order, Sophia Knight for Tennessee here in the 3rd. They've had a couple of hits so far, 1 in each inning against Keegan Rothrock, but nothing on the board yet. Rutan, junior out of Columbus, Indiana, 1 for 6 in the series. Transfer from Eastern Kentucky. Another valuable acquisition because she's a 2-way player.
Yeah. Spent some time in the circle for him. Great defensively, also the big bat. Oh, and that's what you need in today's environment. You've got to have athletes that you can move around.
Tennessee, since the start of 2023, has won 12 of 13 SEC road series. Fly ball, loping back, Townsend Thomas, and she'll make the catch. Coming up later, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship 2nd round continues. Ole Miss and Minnesota at 2 Eastern on ESPN. Texas Tech and LSU on ABC at 3. Baylor and Duke at 4 on ESPN. All tournament games available on the ESPN app. 1 out, and here's 9-hole hitter Bella Faw. Faw, veteran shortstop, 0 for 5 this weekend. Junior in the lineup mostly for her defense, and she has been terrific in the field. Only 2 errors all season. One from Rothrock. That was pretty. Nice off-speed pitch, clips the outside corner.
Yeah, it's got some good break on that pitch as well. So it's not just the differential in velocity, it's got some away and downward movement to it.
1-2 back up the middle, snared by Rothrock. Makes it look easy. 2 down for the top of the order and Sophia Knight. You can speak to this. I mean, there's not a lot of time on those comebackers. Rothrock, very good fielding pitcher.
Very good fielding pitcher. Important to make sure that you're ending with that glove in front of your body. Good defensive position.
Sophia Knight grounded out to Comia at second base her first time up. She's 0 for 1. Knight leading the Vols in average hits and stolen bases. Great pickup out of the transfer portal. One of 2 Boise State transfers in this lineup. Led the country with 103 hits last year for the Broncos.
A lot of hits.
Another one that nibbles the corner, 1 and 2.
Yeah, just a lot of gifts in that leadoff spot for Sophia Knight, and that's one of them too, is understanding how she's going to be pitched, attacked. So she does here at 1 and 2, trying to protect.
Slap right to third, Grover. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Rothrock. We've played 2.5 in Gainesville. Florida leading 1-0 and coming back to the plate. What a beautiful day in Gainesville, Florida for Game 3 of this series between #1 Tennessee and #8 Florida. Gators leading 1-0. A leadoff homer in the first by Taylor Shoemaker. Comia, the 9-hole hitter, leads it off here in the third. Shoemaker to bat next, followed by Jocelyn Erickson. Fouled off by Gabby Comia, the second baseman. Yeah, Florida has timed up the 2-time All-American pretty well today. 3 hits, including the home run by Shoemaker.
Well, one of the things I love that Coach Walton talked about is taking a step up. So setting up those machines at 72, 75 miles an hour and getting as close as possible. But the key that he said is that having his hitters approach that machine without wrecking their swing. So he wants them to get as close as possible, reduce that distance, work on timing, but still keep the fundamental mechanics of those swings intact. I'd say it's worked so far.
Comia has been a pretty good table setter for Tim Walton's team for the 2nd time through the order, trying to get on here to set up Shoemaker. There's a strike, so now it's a full count.
She's so good in this 9-hole, turning over the lineup, as you mentioned, with Taylor Shoemaker on deck.
You got a 9-hole hitter hitting .427.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's a lot of leadoff hitters.
Swung on and missed. Pickens tied her up inside at 74 miles per hour. There's 1 down.
And Comia does not strike out a lot. That is just her 4th strikeout of the year. This pitch is well located right on the corner. Really good spin speed as well as velocity, and just sneaks it past the bat of Comia for the 3rd strikeout of the game for Carlin Pickens.
And now Shoemaker, who hit her 13th homer of the year to straightaway center field back in the 1st inning. Here it is.
That's a rise ball. She's just able to get underneath and catch it on a 2-1 count. She was leveraged and she knew it. She was attacking.
Challenged her there pretty much down the middle of the plate. Ball on her strike. Shoemaker hit .389, 22 homers and 86 runs batted in. And you're thinking, wow, it's going to be tough to top. She may do it this year.
Well, and the power, you saw that last graphic, 44% of the hits off of that bat are for extra bases. You know, she just gets the barrel so quick to that contact zone.
Two-1. And now it's 3-1 to Shoemaker, and Jocelyn Erickson is on deck. There you see last season, this season. Of course, all of those numbers last year, freshman records. Just foul. 3-2. Tim Walton called her this week one of the best hitters he's ever seen, and he's been around the game for a while.
Yeah, and I love the way that he says, you know what, she doesn't watch a lot of film. She doesn't need to. It's almost too much information at times. She's a very feelsy type of hitter, so when she's feeling good, she's in her zone, you just leave her alone. You just let her go.
Carlin Pickens misses high, and Shoemaker will work a walk with 1 out.
Second walk of the game given up by Pickens.
We saw the bullpen active right away in the first inning as Sage Margetko was throwing for a while, but she has sat back down. Jocelyn Erickson, a single her first time up. That's up and in. I mean, she has been mashing the ball this year. Look at that, 16 homers, 50 runs batted in. Leads the conference in RBI, second in homers. There's a strike to even up the count, but you know, Pickens has developed a little bit of an issue here, like we saw Rothrock, her first several hitters, you know, falling behind in the count. And now that gets to the backstop. Shoemaker on her horse, gets to second. She's in scoring position.
And to your point, Rothrock has been pitching ahead. Pickens has been falling behind. And when you do that with a really good hitting lineup, you're constantly in leverage counts for the hitters.
Two balls and one strike to the first baseman, Erickson. It's outside. Erickson came into the weekend second in the SEC in hits, right behind Shoemaker. Base hit here would make it 2-0 most likely. Foul back.
These two together in the lineup, Shoemaker and Erickson. Shoemaker leading the country in hits, 54 hits now, and then Erickson. She brings that power.
Outfield straight away for the left-handed hitter. Payoff pitch. Hit to second. Ella Dodge makes no mistake over to first. Shoemaker trots to third with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Kenley Cahalan.
Nice defensive play by Ella Dodge, and that's one area they needed to clean up for Tennessee. They have 4 errors in this series against Florida. Just 14 errors on the year, so there's 4 errors in the last 2 games. Give an offense like Florida extra at-bats, extra outs per inning, and they're going to score off you.
Yeah, they had 2 unearned runs yesterday because of those mistakes in the field. Cahalan lined into a soft double play her first time up. We'll talk to Tim Walton, the Florida head coach, coming up next half inning. 1-1. There's a strike. Tim Walton considers these couple of spots in the order 3 and 4, Cahalan and then Grover, the most important spots in the lineup.
100%, because they're protecting Erickson and Shoemaker. When we asked him, he said for the keys to win this series, Cahalan and Grover have to hit in that 3 and 4 hole.
Yeah, called strike 3. Pickens knew it. Locks up Cahalan. Strikeout number 4 for the All-American. And Florida's denied in the third.
And Carlin Pickens picking up a big strikeout with Shoemaker at third base. A pitch on the outer half picks up her 4th strikeout of the game.
Welcome back to Gainesville and the SEC on ESPN. Alongside Michelle Smith, I'm Clay Matvick. Game 3 of this top 10 series between Tennessee and Florida. The Gators leading it 1-0 on a home run by Taylor Shoemaker as we bring in head coach Tim Walton. Taylor, a very special year last year as a freshman and doing it again here as a sophomore. No slump for her in year 2. What makes her so special, Tim?
Yeah, well, number one, she wants to hit. She's a competitor, but she matches up that with her work ethic. You know, you very rarely get a kid who really just wants it, and then they're not afraid to put the time in. She puts the time in. good preparation, and has a pretty good understanding of what makes her tick. And so we don't try to overcomplicate things for her. We try to keep it simple as we possibly can.
And Coach, year in and year out, you have one of the best offenses in the country. What do you do to prepare them for an elite pitching staff like Tennessee?
Well, I think if you get caught up too much in Tennessee, then you lose your identity. So we got to be who we are, do what we do. They're going to obviously have their skill set, strengths, weaknesses, so on and so forth. So we just got to do a good job being who we are, be good at what we're good at. If we're good like that, I think we can get good swings off, not guessing, getting on time, and just doing a good job to be able to adjust.
All right, Coach.
Hey,
appreciate your time. Thank you.
Shout out our gymnastics squad last night, SEC champs. Go Gators.
Congratulations to the Gators.
That's right.
Gymnastics team in Florida with their ace Keegan Rothrock on the mound. Goes into the fourth inning with a 1-0 lead here in Game 3. Tennessee took Game 1 2-1. It was a 5-2 final yesterday. Florida with the win.
Rothrock has been steady Eddie through the game. She's really been working ahead. First pitch strikes, 8 of the last 11 in this game, working from ahead. Well, and there's the key. When she's ahead, look at the on-base percentage, the batting average against. So under 200 when she's ahead and over 400 when she's behind.
0-1 to Ella Dodge, who leads it off, followed by Gabby Leach and Emma Clark. 2, 3, and 4 for the Volunteers. See the numbers for Dodge this year. Started 49 games a season ago on the Women's College World Series team as a redshirt freshman for Karen Weekly. Karen calls her the Energizer Bunny. Constant positive energy.
Well, and you need that. You need that voice on the infield. When you're playing defense, you need that voice in the two-hole, really pumping up the offense.
1-2 to Dodge. Flailed at it. Rothrock, another strikeout. One down here in the top of the fourth.
And Dodge has a tendency to keep her front half a little bit open. You can see that front foot, right foot slightly open, and she basically goes after a pitch on the outer half that's moving down and away from her. So Rothrock picking up a big strikeout to lead off this fourth inning.
One out for Gabby Leach, who has one of the 2 Tennessee hits. She's out on one pitch as Erickson takes it herself. Well, coming up tonight on ESPN, the NCAA Women's Basketball Championship second round continues with Oregon and top-seeded Texas at 6 Eastern, followed by Michigan State, Oklahoma, and the night capped off by Washington and TCU. All tournament games also available on the ESPN app. Have you filled out a bracket?
I have not.
What?
I know, I'm so bad. I'm so into softball.
I haven't either. So
okay, good. I was going to feel guilty.
I was trying to shame you.
I do like to spy on other people's brackets, though.
Emma Clark is a quick out as well. Keegan Rothrock getting better, it would appear, as the game wears on for Florida. She's retired 7 straight. We'll talk to Karen Weekly next. As the Gators get ready to hit here in the bottom of the fourth, outside of the Tennessee dugout, is the Hall of Famer Karen Weekly joining us on headset now. And Carlin Pickens gave up the home run to Shoemaker early, but the last couple of innings has settled in a little bit. What are you seeing from your All-American?
She's executing her pitches much better than the last 2 days. Even the home run, it was a rise ball that got where we wanted it to get, maybe just a little bit middle, but I'm really pleased with what she's doing. I feel like she's kind of finding that sharpness and finding that feel with her pitches as we go along.
And Coach, what are the adjustments your offense needs to make up going up against Keegan Rothrock?
She's attacking the zone, throwing early strikes, and first 7 hitters went up there, 5 of them took the first pitch strike, and it wasn't a changeup. So I want us to be more aggressive. I think we saw it that inning. You're not going to get your timing if you don't swing. That's the best way to do it. So we need to get the bat off our shoulder, and something's in the zone. We need to get after it.
Coach Weekly, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Karen Weekly, in her 25th year as head coach, 5th year as the lone head coach of the program. Husband Ralph retired in 2021, but I think retired is in name only because he's still around the program almost every day. So there you see the numbers for Carlin through 3 innings. And Florida just 3 hits and the 1 run. Kendall Grover, Townsend Thomas, And Madison Walker, 4 through 6 in the order, due up here in the 4th. Grover, a strikeout victim her first time up, whacks this one foul and is behind in the count, 0-2.
I think that's the key too, and Pickens is pitching from ahead. It's really made a big difference, and she's been able to do that the last inning and a half or so. Working that corner underneath the hands.
We've seen that a few times,
yes,
too. It's out of the hand and to the screen for Pickens.
It's like an off-speed rise ball, top of the zone. And she's just hanging on to that a smidge too long.
I mean, when you throw as hard as she does, it's going to happen. Got it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Pickens going back to last inning. She has 5 in the game.
So the pitch prior was at 63 miles an hour, a floaty rise ball that got to the screen. This one is also at 63 miles an hour, but it's at the shoelaces, just diving down, and Grover swings through it. So back-to-back strikeouts now for Carlin Pickens, and that's her 5th of the game.
Thomas had a hit on one pitch her first time up. Florida center fielder. Reigning SEC Freshman of the Week. Went 6 for 9, 4 doubles, and 4 ribbies last week at Kentucky.
So good. Really learning the game, the quickness of the game.
Back-to-back sweeps to start league play for Florida. Against Missouri, against Kentucky. And, you know, I don't care who you're playing. You start that fast in the league. That's outstanding.
On at home against the Missouri team that actually yesterday beat Alabama.
Right.
And that's SEC softball. It is tough to sweep series. We have seen them early in the year, but I think as the year goes on, it's going to be harder and harder to sweep programs, to sweep teams within these series.
There are 11 teams in the top 25 from the SEC this week, including 6 in the top 10. Number 8, Florida. Number 1, Tennessee. You see Arkansas also in the top 10. Texas, the defending national champs, 28-1 now. They have won 26 in a row. That one is high to Thomas. They haven't lost since February the 7th. The Longhorns lost to Nebraska in the UTSA Invitation. That's it.
They've been quietly doing their job.
No doubt. Full count to Thomas. Another foul ball. They didn't play today, and Texas won't play today. They beat Baylor twice over the weekend, so they're out of conference. And that's a team that's scary good again.
Scary good. A lot of different tools on that Texas team.
The appeal did not go. So Thomas coaxes a walk here with 1 out in the 4th inning.
It's a really good at-bat by Thomas. Thomas really pulling back, holding on. That is so difficult to do, to really shut that swing down on a pitch that's hard and coming inside. 3rd walk of the game given up by Pickens.
So a runner on for Madison Walker, the designated player who hit into a 6-3 double play in the 2nd inning. We were talking about Missouri. Madison Walker played for the Tigers last year. Hit 18 homers, 48 runs batted in at Mizzou. One of the new faces for Tim Walton's Gators.
Had that big home run off of Pickens yesterday.
Proved to be the game-winning blow, and here it is from Saturday.
You just see this pitch was supposed to be on the outer half, and it leaked back into the zone, and she just tattoos that over center field. That was a line drive. It got out quickly, a 2-run shot. Statement home run.
I don't know that got more than 15 feet off the ground.
No, it was a rocket.
1 out. Townsend Thomas the speedy freshman at first base for Florida. 3-1 pitch, right down the middle. To second for one, and another double play. I'll tell you, Belfaw and Ella Dodge up the middle for Tennessee have been getting it done.
Boy, the defense is putting on a show here for both Tennessee and Florida. This is that traditional 6-4-3 double play. And, of course, Pickens is loving it. That is the third double play of the game for the Lady Vols.
Defense, that's kind of what was sold ahead of this series, and it has played out that way. Tennessee's pitched it well today. Pickens did give up the one home run, and no shock that the one run generated by Florida comes on a long ball.
Yeah, it's kind of what we expected with, you know, great pitching on both sides, the explosive offense for Florida. But how about the defense? 4 double plays in the game.
4 double plays, 3 turned by the Tennessee defense that have certainly helped Carlin Pickens out. And now Keegan Rothrock to face Elsa Morrison, Alana Leach, and Mackenzie Butt. Liner back to Rothrock, and she got it. Morrison out on one pitch.
Rothrock with really good opportunity to get a ball right back at her, because that glove, we talk about the glove and how important it is that it ends in front of the pitcher's body, and textbook form by Rothrock and in a position to make that catch.
One out for Alana Leach. Gabby and Alana Leach hit back-to-back homers in Game 2 of the LSU sweep a couple of weeks ago. Doesn't slap as much as her sister. Generates a lot of power, has 4 homers on the year. Tennessee looking to find some offense. You know, throughout the course of the series, 10 total hits.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it earlier too. Like, they've only scored in 2 of now, what is that? Doing quick math here, 16 innings.
Popped up on the infield, the shortstop. Cahalan calling for it and sticks with it for out number 2. Well, here's this weekend's featured softball games on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. A couple of good non-conference rivalry matchups Wednesday. Louisville taking on Kentucky at 5:30 Eastern. Then number 24 South Carolina hosting Clemson in Columbia.
Well, Tennessee just having a hard time getting anything rolling, because at this point Rothrock has retired 9 in a row. And when you don't have that consecutiveness offensively, it's tough to put runs up on the board unless you're hitting the ball out of the park.
1-0 pulled foul by Mackenzie Butt, who hit into a double play to end the second inning. What a year Butt had last year at Boise State. Just the 7th freshman in NCAA history with at least 20 homers and 75 runs batted in. I mean, I think both of these head coaches have done a great job adding to their rosters through the transfer portal.
Absolutely. It's a big part of the game. Division I softball. Some of those players transferring within conference, and some of them wanting to move up from a mid-major into a Power 4 conference. A lot of opportunity out there.
And you just don't know how it's going to transfer over. You come from the Mountain West to the SEC, and you might have some growing pains, but really Mackenzie Butt has been outstanding. 7 homers, 25 RBIs on the young season. And this is going to get out of play.
Well, that's what you need, because Tennessee lost some power last year in Boo Gibson and Sophia Nugent, and when those big bats graduate, you've got to plug those holes and figure out who you are offensively. How are you going to score runs? And this Tennessee team, as they come into tougher and tougher pitching in the SEC.
Lined over the glove of Comia into right field. 2-out base knock for Mackenzie Butt.
And that's what they have to figure out, Clay, is really what is the identity of this offense. Couple of hits here for Tennessee in this game, a lot of them with 2 outs, and that's a nice curveball in the outer half. That's a very good pitch from Rothrock. It's out of the zone. You could see it's River moving into that left-handed batter's box, but because of the reach of Butt, she's able to take that and go the opposite way. And that's what you want. You're given a single. She's not trying to hit a home run on a pitch that's running away from her, so she picks up that all-important base hit. Just trying to make something happen after Rothrock had retired 9 in a row.
So Zoe Schuler is going to pinch run at first base. With 2 outs for Maddie Rutan. Rutan flew out to center, and Townsend Thomas her only time up. That's a strike. Maddie Rutan did not play a lot of third base at Eastern Kentucky, where she transferred from, but she has turned out to be a really good third base fit for Karen Weekly's club. He's also an excellent pitcher in the A-Sun. Rothrock trying to work around the base hit and get through the 5th, and now time is called.
Yeah, Rothrock has just been a juggernaut, working from ahead here. Gives up the base hit and then just immediately comes right back against Maddie Rutan.
She had retired 9 straight before that Mackenzie Butt single to right field. Schuler running for at first base. Rothrock delivers. And that's going to hang up for Shoemaker, and the inning is over. So Tennessee strands another one. We played 4.5. It is still 1-0 Gators. Back here in Gainesville, Florida. This series has had great drama. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, it is 1-0 Florida, leading the #1 team in the country, Tennessee, the unanimous #1 team in the nation. What a feather in the cap this would be for the Gators to knock off the Vols this weekend.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just primo SEC softball, where it is tough to win on the road. It's tough to win at home when the #1 team in the country comes in. But you go all the way back, played a game 1, where Pickens had to shut down the offense for Florida with the bases loaded in the 7th inning to squeak out that 2-1 victory.
Carolyn Pickens misses outside, falls behind the leadoff hitter Cassidy McClellan. 2 balls and no strikes. McClellan walked and was stranded in the 2nd inning. Pickens has not pitched bad. The 2-time All-American, 5 strikeouts. Just the 1 run allowed through 4.
Well, when we talked to Coach Weekly about, the back-to-back home runs that she gave up yesterday, I mean, those words usually never come out of your mouth. She said, she's still trying to figure it out. She had 11 days off. Her timing is just, a little bit, she's working with it. It's affecting her control.
That miss downstairs, 4-pitch walk to McClellan. 2nd walk allowed. And the 3rd time that the Gators have put the leadoff hitter on.
Yeah, and I mean, that kind of sums it all up. Only 2 home runs allowed through her first 53 2/3 innings, and she's given up 3 here against Florida in 7 innings work.
And now Wesolowski at the plate. I said 2 walks, make that 4 walks for Pickens. And you see that 35 out, 35 in, not exactly a great ratio at 70 pitches.
No, typically want to be about 2/3 strikes, 1/3 balls. So in a pitch count near 75, you're looking at having more around 40 to 45 strikes.
Well, the double play has been her friend so far today. As Megan Rhodes-Smith, who Karen Weekly calls the most underrated pitching coach in the country, has a quick word with Pickens. Pickens could use a double play right now.
Absolutely, that defense, the middles are deep.
Vols have turned 3 double plays today. Wesolowski, a strikeout victim in the first inning.
Well, you can see the defense here. Look at how those middle infielders are playing deep, double play range.
Just down, and you can see Carlin Pickens saying, hey, Brian Crochet, where was that? Just below the knees, apparently.
Well, and I like the freshman Morrison is going to come out and talk to her pitcher. Get her refocused on working that lower part of the zone, behind 3-0 here.
This is a dangerous hitter at
Yes.
the bottom of the order, too. Wesolowski in the 8 hole.
Well, last thing you want to do is walk the 7 and 8 hole. Gabby Comia coming up is very good in the 9 hole. Wouldn't be surprised if Wesolowski is able to walk, that Comia sacrifices. Florida looking to pick up more runs late in the game here.
And there's the strike, 3-1. Wesolowski, the start behind the plate for Florida today. Went 5 for 11 with a homer in the Missouri series a couple of weeks ago. Has 4 homers on the year. And another strike, so now a full count.
Good job by Pickens coming underneath the hands to pick up the strike to go to 3-1, 3-2 on the outer half.
Right past Kendra Falby in the first base coach's box. Tim Walton likes to use players, former players too, as Kendra is, as base coaches. Pickens rocks, fires the 3-2. Walked her. Back-to-back walks to start the 5th. And Florida has the great Carlin Pickens on the ropes.
When that last pitch very close to the zone, it definitely looked like it was on the corner. I think the question may be the height of it. That looks like a strike right at the belt. Pickens wanting it. Coach Weekly coming out of the dugout wanting it. Back-to-back walks now here in the 5th inning.
And her 3rd walk in 4 hitters faced. As the 9-hole hitter Comia comes up and shows bunt and takes a strike.
This is the prototypical softball. I knew this is what we would see coming with Comia in the 9-hole, 400-plus hitter in that spot, just really looking to do her job and advance her teammates up.
Second time we've seen Margetko up in the bullpen. Margetko got up after the home run by Shoemaker and the base hit by Jocelyn Erickson right away in the first inning, but then after that, Pickens kind of settled into a bit of a rhythm. But now Margetko is warming up again. Time is called, and we're going to have an offensive conversation. Quarterback by Tim Walton.
Well, I'm sure right now Coach Walton is telling his offense, like, look, we need to get both of our runners into 2nd and 3rd. And you look at situationally hitting, when this Gator offense has runners at 2nd and 3rd with less than 2 outs, the odds of them scoring are astronomical. A batting average, a team batting average over 750 with runners in that particular situation. And so Coach Walton's basically telling Comia, just get the ball down on the infield somewhere.
Comia struck out swinging against Pickens in the 3rd. Chopped. 2nd. They'll get 1 as Dodge wins the race to the bag for the force out of Wesolowski.
That's a great play by Ella Dodge. At first, that looked like that could have been a base hit up the middle, the position she was playing at. She reads it really well. Look at where she's at in this position. So she is up and she is in, but she gets that nice high hop, gets to that ball immediately, goes to 2nd for the force out, and keeps the Gators on the corners.
But now she has to face Taylor Shoemaker, who's the difference in this ball game right now. Runner goes and no throw. Comia into 2nd base as a base hit now would likely score 2.
Well, there's nowhere to hide, because if you pitch around Shoemaker with first base open, then you're looking at Erickson. But I do have to say, the batting average against with the bases loaded versus with runners at second and third with less than 2 outs, the odds tell you put Shoemaker on first and then hope that you can get Erickson and Cahalan out. But those are tough decisions to make.
Well, Karen Weekly came out and told Brian Crochet she wants a challenge to see if Gabby Comia left early. She did get a good jump, that's for sure. There was no throw from Morrison. And so they're looking at it. You know, Tennessee, the pitching is outstanding, as you've touched on a few times here today, Michelle. It's the first weekend all 3 of their top arms are healthy at the same time. Pickens, Margetko, and then Aaron Newer, who we've seen also this weekend. I mean, it really is an embarrassment of riches for Karen Weekly. Any of them could be a #1 pitcher on a lot of teams.
Yeah, 100% could be an ace on any other club. And it looks like
after further review, the call on the field stands as called. The runner left on time. This is Tennessee's first challenge. 1 remaining.
So Tennessee loses a challenge. McClellan at third, Comia at second with 1 out for Shoemaker, who could tear a hole in this game quickly.
yeah, absolutely. Again, this is a tough situation. So the defense for Tennessee is going to be up, and you can see immediately Tennessee is going to walk her. Oh!
To the backstop. Chasing is Morrison. No play at the plate as McClellan scores with the 2nd run. It's 2-0 Florida.
And so, you know, we talk about how important it is for pitchers to be able. So this, look at, they're trying to intentionally walk Shoemaker. And this is why it is so important for pitchers and catchers to work on pitch outs. And a lot of batteries do not work on that particular play. And we've seen it hurt the defense and the pitchers numerous times.
Ground ball off the glove of Fine to center field. Comia scores. It's 3-0. Taylor Shoemaker, her 2nd run batted into the game, and the Gators now with a 3-run lead in game 3.
That's an interesting at-bat. So she goes from being intentionally walked to not being intentionally walked to driving the ball hard up the middle off of the shortstop Fa's glove for another base hit. Shoemaker responsible for 2 of the 3 runs up on the board for the Gators here this afternoon.
Talked about Carlin Pickens coming back from an arm strain earlier this month, and she is, according to Karen Weekly, even Carlin Pickens has said, I'm 100% healthy. But there's no doubt the last couple of days we have not seen vintage Carlin Pickens.
And to your point, so being 100% healthy and being ready in game shape are 2 very different things.
Pitching change in Gainesville. 3-0 Florida, and not done in the 5th. Well, Carlin Pickens took the loss yesterday, her first of the season. She's in line for another one today. She had some control issues at times, Michelle.
Yeah, career high 5 base on balls here just through 5 innings of work.
And now Sage Margetko comes in, the veteran right-hander. Got the win on Friday, her 7th of the year. 2nd year at Tennessee, transfer from South Carolina, trying to hold the Gators in check the rest of the way. As Florida now leads at 3-0 here in the rubber match. Jocelyn Erickson singled against Pickens in the 1st and grounded out in the 3rd. The 0-2, rise ball got her.
Well, this is where Sage Marjeko is so good. She's got some of the best spin in the game. Karen Weekly loves the way that she can move the ball. This is a rise ball. It starts at the numbers, gets up near the eyeballs, and she induces that swing and miss. Huge second out, picking up a strikeout versus Erickson.
And she starts Cahalan outside. We were talking with Karen Weekly about Marjeko, how she's learned to command 5 pitches.
Yeah.
You kind of stick a finger in your ear and shake, because did I hear that right? 5.
Well, a lot of pitchers will say they have the ability to throw 5 different pitches, but she can truly, and I like to call her the Jet. The Jet can throw 5 different pitches, and those are pitches that she can throw in a 3-2 count, any situation, behind, ahead. Just some of the nastiest movement, really good spin speed, so she gets that late sharp break.
1-1. Ooh, off speed that time.
And
1 and
that
2.
a knee buckling changeup, right, to help set up everything else.
Well, Tennessee can keep this to a 3-run deficit. They still have 6 outs to work with at the plate. Popped up, and this is going to spin back out of play. Karen Weekly says she hasn't had someone with that many pitches in her arsenal since Ellen Renfro almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, Renfro, an All-American, just really good movement. Could make the ball dance through the zone. So Sage Marjeko is a great alternative to Carlin Pickens.
Comebacker, Marjeko. Great relief to put out the fire in the 5th inning, but it's a good inning for Florida as they tack on 2 more here in Game 3. And now lead it 3-0.
The Gators getting it done, taking advantage of a couple of walks, but Shoemaker again with another RBI. The Gators up 3-zip.
On the call for that one. Texas and Oklahoma in April. I'm also circling that one on the calendar too. ESPN is going to cover all 3 of those games in the series, E2 and ESPN1 the rest of the way. I mean, that's going to be an outstanding series. That could be a battle between 1 and 2 in the country at the time.
Absolutely. That is going to be epic. I'll be there with Beth Mowins and Jessica Mendoza, and it's going to be a fun series.
Pinch hitter here for Tennessee, Meredith Barnhart, freshman out of Colorado, to lead it off in the 6th inning as Tennessee tries to get something going. The Volunteers have not had a runner in scoring position today against Keegan Rothrock.
Rothrock has just been so good, just 2 over the minimum, no free passes. She's given up the 3 hits, but one of them eliminated with the double play from the defense.
Barnhart pinch hitting for Bella Faw in the 9-hole. Sophia Knight and Ella Dodge also scheduled to hit. Swung on and missed, 2-2. The other thing that Florida has done well this series, especially today, that's catch the ball. No errors in the series.
Very good to 4 errors for Tennessee. Struggled a little bit defensively. You know, I think if Tennessee, if this score does not change and they end up losing this series to Florida, I think they're going to go back and they're going to say, hey, the free passes, the 4 errors, you know, those are the things we hurt ourselves.
Just missed. Walked her. First walk allowed by Keegan Rothrock. And Barnhart, the pinch hitter, works on here to start the 6th.
Wow, that's a pitch at the top of the zone. It's a rise ball, and she wanted that, but that's also the pitch that Pickens threw last inning. Did not get that call as well.
And Bella Faw is going to come back onto the field to run at first base. So a golden opportunity here for Tennessee to get something going. The tying run is on. Or pardon me. First run of the game for Tennessee is on. Didn't get her in. Sophia Knight at the plate. The Boise State transfer is 0 for 2. Comebacker. What a stop! It's short by Cahalan. And gets the force. That looked like that was destined for center field. Now some confusion. Faught didn't know if she was actually forced out or not.
And I think that's what Karen Weekly is going to ask, because Cahalan dives. The ball is in her glove. She touches with her bare hand. And so I think she's asking, does she need to tag the bag with the ball in the glove? So nice diving play. Reaches the bag and touches the bag with the bare hand. The ball is in the glove. So it's like stepping on the bag with your foot.
Right.
So
Any
it would
part
be
of the
an
body.
out, because it is a forced play.
What a diving stop by Kenley Cahalan as Florida's defense continues to shine. So one away, and here's Ella Dodge.
You know, back to that play, that's positioning as well. She was in a great position to make sure she was able to reach that ball. It looked like it could have been a base hit up the middle. But you're right, the defense has been outstanding for the Gators.
And Tennessee still unable to get a runner in scoring position. Now time is called. Stephanie Van Brakel, pro throw, coming out, the pitching coach for Florida. Well, coming up later, the NCAA Women's Championship second round continues with Ole Miss and Minnesota on ESPN. Texas Tech, LSU on ABC at 3, and then Baylor Duke at 4 on ESPN. The Women's Basketball Championship coverage also available on the ESPN app. Alongside the two-time Olympic gold medalist Michelle Smith, I'm Clay Matvick. A beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Gainesville. Game 3, the deciding game in this series. And Florida tacking on 2 runs in the bottom of the 5th to make it 3-0. And now Tennessee trying to get something going against Keegan Rothrock, who has been nails.
She has been nails. She's allowed no consecutiveness, so nothing back-to-back.
Fly ball. McClellan makes the catch.
Fighting the sun, out in left field.
And that's a big out. Ella Dodge easily could have made this a 1-run ball game. And they get her to fly out. And they're 2 down. Here's Gabby Leach. Line drive down the line and gone, home run. It's off the pole. Gabby Leach, 6th home run of the year, and Tennessee pulls to within 1.
Yeah, Gabby Leach was just so much power in that 3-hole. Takes a pitch on the inner half and just bashes it out of the park. You could see it off of the bat. Look at the way she's going to get around this rise ball on the inner half. Just barrels it up so beautiful. What a quiet swing. Just explodes those hips through, allows that barrel to come through, and takes it off of the foul pole.
Came into the day 0 for 5 in the series, her 2nd hit today. And finally, Tennessee gets on the board against Rothrock. And now swung on by Emma Clark. But it's going to stay on the infield. Comia puts it away, and the inning is over. Tennessee makes it interesting here in the 6th inning with a 2-run shot by Gabby Leach. And they're feeling good about still getting out of Gainesville with a series win. What an outstanding head-to-head top 10 matchup. Game 3 here in Gainesville. Number 1 Tennessee, number 8 Florida. Alongside Michelle Smith, I'm Clay Matvick. Offense has been hard to come by today. We've seen the long ball, though, and now Gabby Leach with that 2-run homer, making it interesting here late.
Yeah, well, we've had All-American arms in the circle, but we've also had that explosive offense. Florida leading the country in a lot of different offensive categories, but I love the way that Tennessee has battled back. They put themselves in a position here now to be able to stay in this game here going into the 7th inning. But this is going to be the key, this bottom of the 6th, keeping Florida off the board.
What a catch. Rutan, that one was hit a mile high like it was shot out of a cannon. Took a while to come down. She makes a very difficult catch. And Kendall Grover is the first out of the Florida inning.
This is like a major league pop-up, and you can see that Rutan is fighting the sun and that ball coming down. Look at the last minute, how she has to reach off to the left, diving to the ground. Outstanding.
So the cleanup hitter for the Gators 0 for 3 today, and now here's Townsend Thomas, who's been on twice with a single and a walk. Florida leading 3-2. He scored 2 in the 5th inning. Kylan Pickens started the game. Sage Marjetko came on in relief and has been really good since doing so. That's a strike to Thomas.
Tim Walton even talked about it when Sage Marjetko was at South Carolina. He said, analytics-wise, she had some of the best movement in the game, and she's only gotten better since showing up at Tennessee. And that's the changeup, it's the rise ball that explodes upward, the drop ball that falls off the table.
Marjetko's 2-2. And that's going to get out. Marjetko made her Women's College World Series debut last year against Florida with a couple of innings of relief. And you can see she has allowed 1 or fewer earned runs in 92% of her appearances.
Just some gaudy pitching numbers for Tennessee.
Going to be a race to the bag. Got her. Covering is Dodge. Clark probably realized she wasn't going to be quick enough to get the very speedy Thomas racing down the line.
Absolutely. That is great communication by the defense. Ella Dodge is going to get there on time, understanding that Clark isn't going to be able to make it. I love the way that they're talking to each other and the speed of Townsend Thomas getting down the line. Excellent defense for Tennessee.
So 2 outs, and here's Walker. Madison Walker, big star in the game yesterday, 2 for 3 with a 2-run homer, which proved to be the game-winning blow. Changed the whole feel of this series for Florida at the time. After Tennessee took game 1. That's off the plate. 2-1 to come. Right-hander delivers. Popped up. Could be playable. The catcher can't make the catch. Morrison spun out of her glove, and Walker is aboard.
Yeah, and this is an unfortunate situation here for Tennessee, this ball coming down. Morrison is probably the last person you want to have your second baseman or your first baseman coming in. This is a high enough ball that the corners need to come in. Morrison is coming out, and you can see that she runs in, has a little bit of a bump with the batter.
So the umpires are going to look at this to see if there's interference on the part of Madison Walker, keeping Elsa Morrison from getting out to make the play on them. What did you think?
So yes, it did look like Morrison was impeded from going out, but it still either needs to be Rutan's or Clark's. But you can see the way she's coming out. She's in the box. She's allowed to stay in the box. That's still a play that the corners need to call off Morrison, the freshman catcher, coming out from behind the dish.
There's not a ton of wind today, too. But, you know, there's enough where I got to believe that kind of got behind the ball, too. It was hit a long way up there. That was a very difficult play for Morrison.
Very difficult play.
And it was made even harder with Madison Walker standing right in the way.
Yeah, well, in Marjetko, the pitcher was the closest one coming in, but it's still one of the corners balls that can make it in time to make that catch.
As it stands right now, it's a tough error, too, on Elsa Morrison. So the umpires getting a second opinion on this. Brian Crochet, our home plate umpire. Matt Dial and Keith Carney on the bases. Now, is she completely in the box?
Well, no, she wasn't. She had slightly moved over.
That's got to be something the umpires are looking at as well. The body placement of Walker. Where is she? Is she in the box? Because if she's not, then it indeed is interference.
I'm actually surprised Walker did not hit down the baseline. She should have been running down the baseline on that.
Here's the call.
After further review, it's been determined that we do have batter's interference. There's going to be an out. That'll be 3 outs.
So that's a huge break for Tennessee as we go to the 7th inning. It stays a 1-run game here in Gainesville in the 3rd and deciding game of the series.
Keegan Rothrock showing why she's an All-American, has been stellar in the circle, painting the corners, using that curveball in the outer half to the righties, but mixing speeds. Just one walk given up. At one point, she retired 9 in a row.
She needs 3 more outs to pick up another win. She has 16 on the year. That matches her win total from all of last season. Leads the country in victories. She can get 3 more outs. The number 8 Florida Gators will knock off the number 1 team in the country in this series.
And to put it in perspective, she threw 6 innings against Tennessee in game 1, 111 pitches, just 78 pitches through her 6 innings here.
Elsa Morrison leads it off, popped up left field, trouble seeing it. McClellan lost it in the sun, and now the tying run is at second base.
Yeah, this is just a tough situation. Midday games, looking up into that, you've got to be able to use your bare hand, so your glove, you're still able to make the catch with the glove. You can see she comes out, she's trying to shade her face with that glove. Just such a difficult situation to be in. They practice this all the time. A big break for Tennessee.
See the disappointment on Keegan's face. And now Savia Morgan is going to pinch run, a very fast base runner now for the Volunteers, representing the tying run. Tennessee scored 2 on a 2-run homer in the 6th by Gabby Leach. We've got a little momentum now finally against Rothrock. Alana Leach, Gabby's twin sister, 1 for 2 with a base hit in the 2nd inning. Outside.
Good job by Wazalowski keeping that pitch in front of her. Keeping a pinch runner. Morgan at second.
To first. Erickson steps on the bag for 1. Morgan goes over to third. Coming up after we're done here in Gainesville, our next National Women's Soccer League match. It'll be on ESPN2 right here. Home opener for the Stars, who take on the Current. Alongside Michelle Smith, I'm Clay Matvick. What a finale to this series, coming down to the wire. Florida trying to hang on, needing 2 more outs to get out of here with a Game 3 win and a series victory. 1 out, tying run at third, and Alana Leach at the plate. Pardon me, Mackenzie Butt. Mackenzie Butt wrapped into a double play her first time up.
Mackenzie Butt with a lot of power. 7 home runs on the year.
You see 3 home runs in the last 7 hits.
How about Rothrock going right at her? In control of this count at 0-2.
Down and in. Checked her swing. Did she go? Yes. They appealed to the first base umpire, Matt Dial. She went around, and now Tennessee down to its last out.
And that's a 1-2 changeup, so working lower part of the zone and comes back with this changeup on the outer half, and you can see Butt with that barrel. It's going to cross the plane. That is a good call by the umpire. That's a huge strikeout for Rothrock here with that runner at third base.
So Tim Walton comes out for a quick chat with the infield. You see the rally caps, the rally cups in that Tennessee dugout. Tennessee started the season 26-0, but facing their third loss in the last 2 weekends.
And welcome to SEC play, right? Every pitch is going to be a battle. Every inning, every game. That's what you come to expect.
Check swing. That time, Maddie Rutan did not go. The Gators haven't won a series against Tennessee since 2017. Upstairs to Rutan, 2-0.
So you're talking 9 years, and on top of that, Tennessee comes in as the #1 team in the country. This is a Florida team that a lot of people wondered when really good pitching showed up, how were they going to respond? Keegan Rothrock has been outstanding with their #2 pitcher, Ava Brown, injured. She's taken on a lot of innings to help out this program.
Florida, 1 out away. 2-1 to Rutan. That's outside 3-1. The #9 spot in the order due up next.
And I like the fact that they're not giving Rutan too much, and I'm sure that's why Tim Walton went out. We're not going to give up too much. She's got a lot of power in that. Bella Fa's already been pinch hit for.
Line drive and caught. It's over. Florida wins it. Shoemaker caught that rising liner out in right field to end the game.
That is a huge catch by Shoemaker. That ball was well charged. It looked like it was going to get into the gap, but instead it's the last out of the game, and the Gators with a huge series win against the #1 team in the country.
Elsa Morrison leads off the inning with a fluke double. Put the tying run on, but Tennessee can't score here in the 7th. And Florida, after dropping game 1, rallies to win games 2 and 3 and take a series from the #1 team in the country.
What an outstanding series for Florida. Their execution, their defense was flawless. But Keegan Rothrock in the circle, just outstanding, shutting down the #1 team in the country.
Just 4 hits for the Gators, but they made them count. And it started with Taylor Shoemaker's home run against Carlin Pickens right away in the first inning. And Pickens just didn't have her best stuff here the last couple of days, loses 2 games in a row. And so here are the updated standings in the SEC after this final. Florida out to an 8-1 start in league play.
It's a very good young Florida team. Got experience in all the right spots. Seniors coming through.